Alright. Hello everyone. Welcome to Clip Studio Paint 101. Today's lesson is about the 3D models and how to use them. You can download them mostly for free. Some of them you have to pay money for, but a lot of them are just free. If you go into your Clip Studio launcher, click Clip Studio Assets right here, and you can just search for whatever you're looking for. And let's say we like this one. It's called Perching. So let's click on it. You'll notice that it's free. And we can just download it, or we could wait for it to load. And look closer at it. And we'll just download it. And it says this, checking out now, that's fine. And then this is it. It's like we're downloading is that little number. And if you download more than one thing, of course it'll say more than one thing. Let's grab this one because it looks cool. This one's also free. And all assets are available to use on any work, including commercials. So if you're an illustrator or you work for a company and you want to use these assets as your base, that's fine. Here's a pose collection. Let's grab that. I like getting big pose collections because it's less work for me. We're gonna grab that. So sitting on chairs and things. You can see it's still communicating, so it's still downloading. And now that we're done with that, let's go back to Clip Studio. Now if I pop this out, this is where all my materials are, including the 3D materials. I'm gonna go all the way down to downloads. We're gonna pick the stuff that we just got. As soon as I find it. So here's this one and this one. I'm just gonna select them both. I'm gonna go back up here to see pose entire body. That's where I want them to be. So that's where I'm gonna put them. And now when I go here, they're in here. So I don't have to search through this downloaded materials folder for whatever thing I was looking for. And here's the female poses I just picked up. So we're gonna keep that folder highlighted. We're just gonna drag that up to pose. And now I'll leave that here. You can change the name. I can pretend I can spell. Yeah, they're all here. This is my ballet set. Yeah, that's how you download and organize your 3D things. Now, as you can see, I have a bunch of different body types in this picture. And that's because I made them all. So, here's Vincenzo. He's not actually in this picture, but now he is. And if we drag... Oops. It would help if I were on the correct layer. I go here. And then drag Vincenzo here. Can drag him. Whoa. Hello, please not. Drag him up here by Nero as his boyfriend. Tip him. Spin him around. And you'll notice that he doesn't have a pose yet. I'm gonna slap him back on the ground there. What if we go into poses? When we grab this pose, we can just drag it on top of him. And now he has that pose. And you can spin him around and shit. Kinda looks like he's doing a little dance. Alright. But we don't actually need that. Sorry buddy, you gotta go. Undo that too. Alright. I've clicked all the wrong things. One of the cool things about this is I set up Nero first, and then I brought everybody else in. And that means that they're all on the same plane. So if I show ruler, hi Bill. If I show ruler, it's supposed to show up. Right. Remind me to take that away from Bill at some point. Where's my ruler? Cool. I love it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so here's the ruler here's all the rulers that everybody's standing on. So you can see it's all in perspective, and everybody is in the correct perspective for where they're standing. And then I just did a sketch, and then I did a sketch using the perspective that was put down when I placed the characters, and then I quickly threw up some line work. Oops, not that one. This one. Threw in some flats, and threw in a painting in the background. And started sketching the characters. So if I take this off, you can see using my character sketches that are just over these. And you don't have to do anything big like this. Vincenzo, I thought I told you to fuck off. I'm just gonna select him and press delete, and that gets rid of him. So this is Jean, and this is one of... This is Jean, and this is one of my, just regular character illustrations. And underneath his flats, you can see I forgot to change models, so he has a female model over there. That's fine. He's still Jean. So he's I made the model 7'5" or however tall Genie is, and then I drew over it. So here's the sketch. Here's my refined sketch. So you can see I really just use the model as a base. And then that was the scarf. And that's what he looks like with all of his line art on. And then I started the second one over here. Perfect 5 of 7, thanks. And like I choose the poses like according to the characters and stuff, but also like if I have an idea what I'm looking for, I will go into the asset downloader that I showed earlier. And if there's something, if nothing's quite right, I'll just do it myself. We'll do a quick one. Let's say we want this one, but it's not quite right. To turn them around, you just go like this. Let's say we don't quite like the arch in their back. So we're gonna take that out by going like this. And I'm just like, so this point is curved. So when I go like this, it arches his back. But if I put it up, it unarches his back. And let's say we want to move his head like that. Like he was taking a picture and now he's distracted by something. And maybe we would like this arm to come up a bit more, so you can fiddle with this quite a bit. The only problem is the way that Clip Studio Paint handles history can lag your computer down if you make too many little changes. So what I would do is you can save and then like close it and reopen it. There's also clear memory here, so you can just clear your history bar. And then it'll forget all of the stuff that you just did, so you can't Control Z anymore. But also it'll reset your history, and it won't be trying to remember all of that. Also, his knees are going through the floor right now, so let's change that. And there you have it, a custom pose. It's not like the best pose ever because it's just a demo, but you can change anything you want. You can start from the base pose and work from there, or you can grab one of the poses that you have downloaded and work from one of those. It doesn't matter as long as you get what you're looking for. Like, I changed Jean's arm here. I didn't bother to change the model, but I was like, I don't really want this arm up like that. I just want him with like this one hand waving. And here's the other cool thing, is you can save the body types of all of your characters. Like, here's Jean. He's like 6'4", Samson's 6'3", Panic is 5'9", Terry, or 4'9", Terry is 5'9", Marzi is... No, Terry is 5'10", Marzi is 5'9". You know, Travis is 5 feet tall, Tammy is 5'3", Nero is 6'1", Vince is 6'1", Caddy's 5'2", which is a little bit shorter than Caddy, but not by much. But these aren't just saved here. If I go to body type, I've saved them here. So let's make a new one. Let's see, who don't we have? Gene Panic, Terry, Marzi, Sam. Trav, Tam, Hero, Cat events. We don't have T2, so let's make T2. So I'm just gonna grab the 3D shape, this one. And yeah, she's kind of... Try to teach a class here, buddy. It's the worst. So we're gonna make T2. We're gonna go here. Yeah, you can see that. So we're gonna go here, and I know T2 is 5, 6. I don't know what that is in centimeters, so I'm just gonna Google it. And it's like 167 centimeters. So I'm just gonna type that in. T2 is a little bit muscular, but a lot of it thin. And then the other thing that I do is I always make their hands bigger, their hands and feet bigger. By like 3 at least. Because otherwise their hands are just way too fucking small. And everybody has tiny hands, and I hate it. If I press this button, it'll place model on the ground, so there we go. And that's T2. So now that we have T2, we're going to press one of these buttons. Are you it? No. Save body shape as material. It's this one. So we're just going to call this T2T. And we're going to stick her in 3D body type. And I'm sure I have a picture that I can use for her. So I don't have like pictures that I've drawn of everybody, so some of these are from like doll makers or whatever. So we're just gonna grab a little picture of T2 that I've made on a website. There's so much Terry. She's gotta be around here somewhere. There she is. Okay. So now she's over here. Or she should be. She should be somewhere. There she is. So if I pull her out from here, there she is. And I just have her preset saved. I can do that with Caddy. And now the girlfriends are sort of together. This is a part that I don't love. It's trying to position them where you want them to be in 3D space. But yeah, there we are. There you go. Caddy and T2 together at last. So I don't have to keep remaking all of my characters or being like, how tall is this one compared to this one? It's just in the program now. You can see I used it for this one too. This was my birthday present to roommate. I have the pose back here. I think I made this pose, but I might have downloaded it. I don't remember. I might have downloaded it and tweaked it. But yeah, I worked really hard on this for 2 days straight and did not sleep and streamed almost all of it. But if we... Thanks, Bill. We slap this back on. There he is. Here's our kitty cat. But under all of his colors, he's just a dolly. I don't know if they're still called dolls. They used to be called dolls. I don't know if they're still called dolls. It doesn't seem like it, but also here's a picture of Zeus, one of my... In fact, I think this is my first picture of Zeus that I ever did. And he has a doll under him, too. So, if I take off... Yeah, so that's his sketch. So I lay down the sketch with the doll still in there. And then I take off the doll, and then I do the line art. And that's him without the sketch, so... That's how I work. If I'm going for cleaner art, line art, you can see this is like purposefully sketchy and messy and has a watercolor style underneath it. That's what I was going for. But if I were going for cleaner art, line work, like I did with Jean, you saw that I did like 3 or 4 sketches. All right, so here's the one that I did Tuesday, I want to say. But yeah, this wasn't that hard to do. I just posed everybody, or like posed these two. And then I drew the room around them because it was already, the perspective was created. And then I could pose other people in the room. So here's Jean running away. Here's Terry like, for fuck's sake. Now I gotta go fucking help my cousin. Here's Tammy, who probably thinks it's hot because she's weird. Here's Marzi cheering on her brother. And this is primitives. So the poses aren't the only 3D thing you can download. Or you can use, these are primitives. So like, these are just planes. And that's right here. You can just move it around and change its angle and change how big it is and all that crap. So that's what I did. And I made this is all for you. Like, you're not trying to make a picture out of this. You're trying to make like the basics of your sketch. So this weird like Z thing over here is gonna be a fire escape when I, draw it. And this building, or this big square, is gonna be a building. And then there's the girls up here watching the sunset. Here's the orb for the sun. Here's some trees down here to show me like where they would be in line for a tree-lined street. So it's not like, this isn't the finished piece. This is like your step before the sketch. And if you already have a picture that you did, like I did this last week for the perspective tool, you can slap characters into it and change their perspective to match the perspective of the room. So if oh, what? It's doing that again. So the subtool menu isn't even there. Like, it's not active at all. But for some reason, OBS is like, I'm just gonna show this forever. Sorry about that. How long has that been there? Probably a while. Should we go back to this one? Bill, were you paying attention? Do you know how long I was fucked up for? Oh, just while I was talking about the fire escape? Okay. So the fire escape is just these primitive pieces. And the trees are here to show me where the trees would be. But like, this isn't like, this is just placement and angles, and it's like, this isn't your work. This is pre-work to make your work so much easier. So here's the 3-point perspective drawing from last week. And then I put Caddy and Nero in it. And their perspective. So you can see I've lined up the perspective tool lines with the room as best as I could. And it snapped them into perspective. So the purple lines, if you remember from last week, are the perspective tool lines. So these two going up and down, they point to a point down here. These two that go along the baseboards here and the bottom of the room here point to a dot over there. And then the this edge of the room and this edge of the room point to a point over there, and that makes it 3-point perspective. And because all the lines are in line with the room, that means that their perspective matches the room. We can attempt to put someone in here. Oh, actually, I was going to do a different thing. Fuck this drawing. I don't want this one. We're gonna do one more tool in here. So there are backgrounds in here that are completely 3D. Let's grab this. In case you're drawing a manga or some shit, here's your school classroom. Keep clipping slightly through the wall. Alright, so there's our classroom, and let's say that we want to slap some characters in here. I have just the thing. Body type. We're gonna grab a child, because it's funny. They can stand on here. And they're just already snapped to the room because they're in the same layer as the room. So when I invisibilize the layer, they're gone too. Let's move them a little closer to the camera. Turn them to look at us. Grab a pose. Where did the child go? Down here? Okay, well that seems normal. But because his model's a little different than Then the adult models, his pose is slightly off, but that's super fixable. And then let's grab Sammy, the big boy. Let's do a punch. Who hasn't wanted to punch a child off of a table? Sounds great. So you can set up your whole scene this way, and then when you draw it... It's fucking daily, right? Yeah. When you draw it, just make sure to show your ruler in all layers. We're gonna slip into this one. So I've made a new layer, and it's just a vector layer. We're gonna... So you can just start doing the thing. Actually, let's do this, and one other thing. So you've seen me kind of have some problems sometimes. Like when I do this. So this is turning fisheye on and off. So let's turn fisheye on a bit. It's called manga perspective, but it's a fisheye lens effect. So let's do that, because it's funny. We're also gonna make this a little lighter so we can see our lines. And then we can just... Yeah, is my grid fucking snapped? Yeah. Snapped grid, don't do that. So I can very, very quickly knock out this whole scene now that I've planned it. And like I said, all of this stuff is free for you to use in commercial stuff. So if you want to start a comic, but you don't have all day to plan it, here you go. You can do it. And I'm sure you saw all of my dumb fight scene stuff. So it's really easy to just get poses and do the thing. But, like, this isn't a replacement for knowing the basics, but goddamn, does it speed up your work. Like, yeah, I could do all of this by hand. I can do all of this by hand. Do you know how long it would take? I'm not doing all of this by hand. Like, it's just not gonna happen. But if you want, like, fully fleshed out... No, fuck that. If you want fully fleshed out backgrounds and shit real fast, you can do this. In fact, you don't even have to redraw it. You can just use the backgrounds if you want. I wouldn't, because I'm like that. But if you're just making a webcomic for fun, or you're doing like work for class that you don't care about, fucking use the backgrounds and 3D objects and shit that Clip Studio gives you. Because a lot of these came with Clip Studio, like this this school setting came with Clip Studio. You don't even have to like go hunt this out. It just exists. You may have to download it, so be aware of that. But if, you know, you can just download all of this ahead of time, and then you just have it. But yeah, like this would take me personally forever to do without without the Clip Studio stuff. Excuse me. So if you're gonna, let's say that you want to like do this little human by hand, that was the eraser. You would make like a tube, like a, actually make like a rectangle where he's standing. And that'll help you like plan out, oh, like if I want his shoulders here, you know, there. And then his waist would go here and then here. But that takes for bloody ever. And then you'd have to like sketch it. So be like, all right, well this is his little shoulders. And this is his waist. And his little feet would go here. You'd have to sit here and think about perspective real fucking hard as you're doing all of this. Or you could just have the computer do it. You could just have the computer do it. And like I said before, you can change everything about these little dollies. So let's say that we wanted an older child. Let's make him taller. Oh, I'm doing Samson, aren't I? The child. Give me the child. And then we would change his head ratio so that it's a little bit smaller. And now he's an older kid. Now he's like 9 instead of 7 or whatever. So that is the dollies and how to use them. And I like them a lot. I use them all the time because it saves me so much grief. There are like a couple more things I can show you. First of all, there's small objects. I have a lot of guns because I draw a lot of gangsters or whatever. But like, there's normal things like a books. Oh, this hasn't been downloaded, so just hit yes. It's gonna download it on the other thing, and then you can use it. And voila, it's in the scene. It's in the correct perspective. Let's make this a dangerous school. Clunk. You can just add things to it. There's a fan on the wall now. Sure. Oh, I suppose I should explain this a little bit. Let's grab something. Let's grab the guitar case. Or Billums. Because guitar actually looks like my bass case, but that's fine. So the green arrows only move the object up and down. Pink arrows go left and right only. And the blue arrows go back and forth only. So this is what we call snapped to perspective, or snapped to line. So when you're moving things around, you can just grab this orange bit and move it. But it only moves it up, down, left, and right. It doesn't move it forward and back. So if you want to move something back, you need to grab the blue arrow. And of course, the arrows might change depending upon where you're viewing the scenes from. And if you want to make this smaller, let's say it's a violin case now, grab the orange ring, up and down. We'll make it smaller and bigger. Now it's an upright bass case. It's a violin case. And there's also a reset model scale. So say I accidentally did that and I was like, oh no, reset model scale. And we can reset the material preset. Some of them have like extra presets, but this one doesn't. And yeah, spin it with these. If I want this leaning against the wall, I'll tilt it backwards using the orange one. Here we go. Precarious. Don't do this to your guitar. How about a can of coffee? Because Japan, I guess. But you can just keep adding stuff until you make your entire scene this way. And you can, again, just use it as a background, because all of this stuff is available to use. Or you can draw or paint over it, which is what I do. I don't use a lot of these little objects, but they're nice. I used them for one piece. I used a lot of them. And then I just didn't again. There's supposedly like faces and stuff you can add to characters, but I never figured out how. And I think that they're not applicable in this version of Clip. Like, I think they're fucked up. I think these are old things from a previous version of Clip. Yeah, see, there's a little no on it. It's like, no, you can't use this, so this isn't available for the newer versions of Clip. Yeah, and then there's these panoramas, which are cool, but very specific. But it's literally a panorama. They are like slightly blurry and whatever. They're very cool. But again, I'm not really sure how you would use this on the regular. Especially because I've never seen any in the store, in the like material store on the launcher. I haven't looked that hard either. They are cool. Like, how cute would it be to like make a little scene of a bunch of high school kids having tea or whatever for your comic? Be fucking adorable. So, like, yeah, this shit is available, and you should use it if you want to. Not writing a manga, so I don't know what I would use it for, but it's cool. I like it. But yeah, that's it for today. Um, we have like 15 minutes left, so let's grab a new layer here. Show ruler in all layers. I'm gonna go to this layer. And I think let's pretend like we're actually gonna paint this. So I would want there to be like a fence right here. And I know that this is the this is the fire escape, so let's make this side of the fence higher. So apparently my fire escape is slightly off, but that's okay. This would be open here. Oh, right. There. I know the stairs all match up because I just copied them. And then turn that back on. I moved the ruler so I could see better. So that's good. Alright, there we go. Nope. And you'll hear a lot of people, especially like younger people, say, "Oh, that's cheating. That's not real art." It's definitely real art. The idea that looking at something and drawing it isn't real art is wild. And if you think that the masters didn't have giant mirror systems to do still lifes with, you are wrong. You can look it up. They're wild, and you can still use them today. People still use them today. But yeah, like, this isn't cheating. This is a tool in your arsenal. I'm not saying you should rely on it all the time. I'm saying it's there if you need to get things done on a timely manner. I don't use it for my portraits. I use it for, like, illustrations and stuff, because I want to get them done in a timely manner. And portraiture is what I'm, like, something that I like taking my time with and learning from. So I do my portraits without all the fancy tools. And then I do my illustrations with all the fancy tools. You can see it's starting to take shape. more stairs. It'd be like that. I guess this would be further here. It's been a while since I've seen a fire escape up close. I've been in New York City once. I didn't like it. That's not true. I've been in New York City twice. I didn't like it the first time. The second time was fine. But we weren't living or staying there, so. Put in windows. So people can actually get out on the fire escape. I guess it'd be here. It's leading to the fire escape. Yeah, you just sort of build up this way. The computer isn't making decisions for me. It's just taking some of the tedium of the work out of it. So that I don't have to sit here with a ruler and do it by hand. Because that would blow. And I still do that. Like, if I'm doing this sort of thing on paper or in a big painting or whatever, you best believe I have a ruler out. But I don't have to do that with Clip Studio Paint. I can just draw, and it's fine. You know, like, don't work harder, work smarter. And I'm not saying, like, if you're new to art in general, you should use all of these things and avoid having to do it, having to learn it. That's not going to help you. But, you know, once you know how to do it and why it works, definitely use these tools, because there's not really a good way to put a regular-ass ruler on a piece of paper in Clip Studio Paint. This is how you do that. That's it for tonight, I think. You can see the building's already starting to take shape. It just looked like a blob before. At least if you don't live in my head and see what I see. It was just, you know, a giant thing. But as soon as I start sketching over it, it starts to look like a real place. A real place these two girls can hang out and watch the sunset together. Have their happily ever after. With the bucket for some reason. Alright, the reason the bucket's there. Reason the bucket's there is because wanted to show that you could put them anywhere. The little 3D objects. I was like, I'll just put a bucket up here. I don't know why I picked the bucket. It just happened to be what I picked. But yeah. You can definitely just make all of your windows nice and even and pretty without a whole shit ton of effort. And yeah, there are people who do this with their brain. I'm not one of those people. If you want to see somebody do that, Geb's Art does that here on Twitch, and it's amazing. He's really good at it. But I am not that dude. I am this dude who's been doing this for 20 years and doesn't want to spend 3 months making a building. So this is how we're gonna do it this way. But like, yeah. You should take the shortcuts that make sense to you. Use the tools that work for you. This is just a display of them. If you like these tools, use them. If you hate them, don't use them. But yeah, I love Clip Studio Paint. It's made going back to art so much easier. But yeah, I hope this helped you, that you learned something, and I will see you next